For today's video, we're actually going to be doing a little Etnies Calicut review. So this is the shoe I've been mainly skating for the last 4 weeks. A lot of people will be asking me what are the black Etnies that I'm usually skating, and these are it. And this is pretty much kind of like the OG mall shoe, or I think everybody had this shoe in middle school or high school or whatever, even like if not them, their sisters, their girlfriends, you know what I mean? But it's kind of crazy. This kind of classic shoe has been one of my favorite shoes to skate. It kind of reminds me of like an Etnies Excel, if that makes sense. I know Etnies and S are all kind of the same, but this is, I don't know, this version has just surprised me. Like, I can't believe I'm still skating this shoe, but there are things that I do like about this shoe and I don't like about this shoe. So today I kind of want to show you guys and review some things about this shoe. And this is kind of crazy. After a month of skating, I'm pretty impressed that this is all the wear and tear that we got. And even on the sole, like the grip is like still so new. Like, that's also very surprising. And here is my switch side. Not much. We got some fraying, but nothing too crazy. All right, so this shoe does come in a few different materials. The ones that I've been personally enjoying are these suede models, but I have tried skating a few other versions. This is kind of like their animal friendly material. I wouldn't say I don't think it's fully vegan, but animal friendly is like what it is. And it's honestly like a nubuck type of leather, suede type of deal. I guess not suede, more like a nubuck leather. And this is surprisingly really tough. I'm surprised that there's no wear and tear on this shoe. And I skated these shoes with brand new grip tape a few times, so I'm surprised that there's really no wear and tear. It's wild. I feel like we really saw a lot of this material back in the 2000s, late 90s. Maybe more early 2000s more than anything, but we haven't really seen it in a while, and I'm kind of surprised because it actually skates really good. The only thing I didn't like about this shoe though is that it does get very warm. I feel like the ventilation in this specific kind of material isn't very ventilated, your feet definitely get a little sweaty in them. But overall, I think this is the grippiest material of all. Like, flicking was ultimately the best in the suede, but I did want to point this one out because I thought this was kind of surprisingly really good. Other material I skated this shoe in is the leather. I did like the leather, but when it came to flicking, the initial first few flicks were kind of like, not greasy, but kind of not too grippy. I honestly prefer to flick off of suede. I feel like when you have a leather shoe, it kind of takes a while to flick. So you can kind of see on the toe cap, once you get into that layer, it wears off. I feel like the shoe then does get really good. But overall, I feel like just doing the initial ollies and kind of breaking this shoe in took the longest. I'd probably want to chill in this leather material, but if it comes to skating, I'm definitely going to pick skating in the suede. I feel like in general, all my favorite skate shoes are always suede. One, I actually didn't rip my laces yet. I don't know why, but for some reason on the leather pair, I was ripping laces like nonstop, super crazy. I don't know if it's because the leather was so slick here that it was just kind of like finding something to grab onto, where on the suede it actually does grab pretty hard. And same with this material, I didn't rip laces on this either. So kind of interesting to kind of note that I was ripping laces with the leather the most. So this kind of brings me into durability, and it's kind of crazy, like I mentioned, that this toe cap really hasn't ripped yet or anything. It does kind of make sense. As you can see, there's really not too much stitching obviously going on over here. You only have the stitching right here, kind of on the ollie patch right there. Otherwise, then this rounded toe cap is kind of great for flip tricks because you're not going to really bust through any extra stitching right here. Usually there's stitching on top of the toe cap that you rip through. There's nothing here, so you don't have to worry about that. I honestly feel like it flicks even nicer sometimes just because there's no extra stitching and other stuff kind of get in the way. Like, it's a smooth flick. This kind of brings me into like the silhouette of the shoe, but I feel like a lot of these simple basic shoes, like the more simple it is, there's less places for it to rip, and it kind of seems like it just lasts longer. Two more things I do want to mention. One, kind of going back to the grip right here and the durability of it. This is kind of the basic grip that Etnies has. It's not the non-slip grip. It's not the Michelin grip. Like, this is the basic standard grip. So the fact that this hasn't really worn out either in the last month also really surprises me. Because even when I used to skate dunks, that shoe surprisingly got ripped up so fast. Even the sole ended up wearing and tearing faster than I thought. Like the toe cap, I would bust through that toe cap within a week or two. Kind of blows my mind that I'm still skating these shoes. I think I had such a low expectation of this shoe, and it definitely surpassed it. The last thing I do want to talk about this shoe, because I think this shoe is very underrated in the sense that it has a ton of board feel. I don't think people really believe me this shoe has board feel. I mean, yeah, it's got a huge and poofy tongue. I get that. You know, the shoe looks very chonky and chunky, which it is. But this sole is so thin. This is literally like the closest thing you can get to a Volk sole, I swear, on a cup sole. I feel like the SXLs are like this too, but like, look how, look, I'm not doing anything. Look at this, right? Look at me. I can push the sole in right here. Like I can push it in. See that? Like I'm lightly pushing it in. Like you get so much board feel from this shoe. Crazy because the shoe's just really flexible. A lot of board feel that you wouldn't expect. Like look at that. Like it just pushing in like nothing. It's just such a very like moldable shoe, especially the suede model. It's just like I think the most comfortable. It's durable, and I think also when it rips up, it doesn't look too bad. One thing I actually did to this shoe to alternate it, sort of say, and it wasn't shoe goo. What I did was I actually switched out the insoles. So normally this shoe comes with not a very good insole. It's kind of like the bare basic little Etnies little, I don't know, what is this, the level 1 they call it or something. I don't even know what this is. This is really nothing, you know what I mean? So I actually put the insoles that come with the Muranas, which are the Michelin soles. So the Michelin sole shoes do come with a better insole, which is this thing right here, and you can kind of tell this thing is a lot better. There's a little bit more structure in this thing. So I have this actually in here. Originally it comes with this, and this is just, after a while, this is nothing for me. Like I need a little bit more cushion, especially from a cup sole. I'd expect, you know, a little bit more cushion, but these shoes have so much board feel and are really thin. So I recommend putting a little bit thicker of an insole in this shoe if you want that. But if you're looking for board feel, run it stock. That pretty much covers the Etnies low cut. This shoe just honestly surprised me. I feel like I just didn't think I was gonna like this shoe that much. Such a basic shoe that's been around honestly since I can remember. It makes sense why it's lasted, you know what I mean? In the fashion sense, in the skate world, you know, skate durability, you know, it's just so simple and it works. I mean, it makes sense why the Adidas Stan Smith is still there, Dunks or whatever. They're all classic. They all have a simple silhouette. It makes sense why they all work, you know what I mean? So it makes sense that it's still around. But yeah, if you're looking for a new skate shoe to try, this might be a surprisingly good one. Or at least I'm just surprised to say that because I've been just really enjoying this shoe. Have you guys skated these? Will you skate these? I don't know. You let me know.
Damn.
Try to chick in the back. It's so nice. So hot out. What do you want done?
Stop talking about me like that.